it's another side that like wants to take more, wants to go that one more round, because like going that one more round when you don't think you can, that's what makes all the difference in your life. You know what I mean?
Welcome to another episode of Going the Boy, I have my mind. Okay.
Take two.
Yeah. Okay. Welcome to another episode of One More Round, the Rocky Series podcast. I am your host, Ryan, and with me today for this new year, 2023, Katie and Kyle. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
How are you guys?
Good.
Only mildly hungover right now, so that's a win.
Good. Mild's not bad. Yeah, I hope everyone had a good, safe, happy holidays. We just want to say happy holidays and a happy new year to all of our listeners on One More Round. And this will be a good year for podcasting. I'm not deploying in the Navy this year. 99% sure, though things,
Wow.
Well, I say that, but that's probably just jinxed. I'm teaching at the school again, my understanding. So that means, home Monday to Friday, home every night type thing. I don't know what we'll knock out, but I suspect by the end of the year, we might be at least, it's hard to say. Maybe Rocky 3 almost done, I would suspect.
Just noticed how different the movies go in coverage of them because I was like, what are we on? Yeah, we're on Rocky 2, but you started Rambo 3 already. I mean, it just goes quicker. Yeah.
Yeah. For those who listen to this podcast and you're Sly fans and a Rambo fan, and you don't listen to my It's a Long Road podcast, you're missing out. It's actually a lot of fun.
You are. It's excellent.
Thank you.
Get your shit together for the podcast.
There are people who are Rocky fans that are not Rambo fans, and vice versa, actually. There are people that are Rambo fans that aren't Rocky fans.
I'm specifically referring to the ones who are Rambo and Sly fans, but for some reason are not listening to the It's a Long Road podcast together. Yeah.
Call them out, because it's been a lot of fun. I get different co-hosts more or less every episode is a different host. Usually it's someone that has been there before. Some are repeating. Some interesting podcasters that I've reached out to that I've enjoyed having on. It's been well received from people, and I just want to plug that. I also want to plug, again, my Patreon. I'm losing people. I feel like since I announced that I'm doing Tulsa King, I've lost people. Maybe I shouldn't do Tulsa King on there. I've lost 2 people. I know holidays are tough, but...
That might be it. God, speaking of, I caught up. I got to binge 2 episodes last night, which is nice. I love to binge, but there are only 9 episodes in a season.
10, I think. I think there's 10.
They were talking about the season finale being this coming Sunday, which would be the 9th episode.
Oh,
either way,
they might do a doubleheader. They do that sometimes.
Oh, got it.
Right. So there's 10 episodes, but they might be doing it back to back. Because I did look today just today to see how many episodes there were for Tulsa King, and I'm double checking right now. 10. It says January 8th is episode 9, and then January 15th is episode 10. So I don't know. Maybe you got to.
Oh, maybe it's a to be continued type situation.
Right. This is IMDb. They're usually pretty good about knowing how many episodes, but anyways, yeah.
I know it's just a thing of the times, but do you guys remember back in the day there'd be 20 or more episodes in a season of a show, and now we barely get 10.
No, that's a good thing, and it's good and bad, because I think what they have to do when they do, I think Sopranos started this, right? They weren't 20 episodes long, were they? I don't think they were.
No, but it was definitely more than 10.
It was. But I think what's happened is they just tighten the stories. I think it kind of forces it's production costs, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not paying people for double the episodes. Production costs go down, but then you tighten the quality of the work. You don't drag storylines out. You have to be very not conservative. Let's say, hey, this story arc is going to have a resolution. It's going to have a beginning. It's going to have a middle and end. Let's get going here. They're trying to hold people's attention spans. Like people, I don't know if they want to invest. And there's so much show competition. So it's
that's a good point.
But I'm enjoying it. I'm loving Tulsa King. Again, you join my Patreon for as low as $1. You get to watch Tulsa King on the Patreon. You watch along with me. Patreon doesn't block the full episodes, so you get to kind of cheat for $1. You get to watch Tulsa King, but you have to have my face over it, my comments. So maybe that's the price you pay. But and also you're also supporting the network, which I appreciate, and all that good stuff. Yay! We have an email. We haven't gotten very many lately. Shame on you people. Another shame on, this is me starting off the new year shaming my listeners. So, And also, shame on you for not giving us reviews on iTunes. We need them. Come on, folks. It's been a while. It's been like a long time since anyone's just given us a rating or review. And I know people are listening. Come on, folks.
Given the episode or the part we're going to cover in the film just now, I wish I would have sent some fake hate mail. The thing.
Oh, that would be funny.
You call yourselves a podcast? You're a fake. Your listeners are a fake.
Kill yourself.
Kill yourselves. I've been carrying you guys this whole time. All right. Okay, so what do we got there, Katie?
We have opening scene in Rocky 2 from Brian. He says, "Hi again, everyone. I enjoyed your coverage of Rocky 1. In Rocky 2, Episode 1, I heard Ryan mention the route the ambulance would have taken. In that first photo, he must have sent some photos."
He did, yeah.
Yes. Okay. I see it now. In the first photo, I made the blue line shows the straight line route from the Spectrum where the fight took place to the hospital would be about 2.5 miles. In the film, we see the ambulance go over the Girard Point Bridge, and the ship to the right is part of the Philadelphia Navy Yard. In the next shot, it makes a right-hand turn on Market Street by City Hall. While it turns, we see a movie theater on the corner, and it just so happens to have the name Apollo. That's cool. The ambulance continues up Broad Street, making a left-hand turn, this time around City Hall, then back to 8th Street to Spruce, where the hospital is. So that would make the actual route about 8 miles. The name of the hospital is Pennsylvania Hospital, and it's one of the oldest in the country. In episode 2, Katie mentioned how far the zoo would be from the hospital. The second photo shows the direct route would have been about a 2-mile walk in the snow. Well, it's kind of long in winter and snow. 2 miles.
It's not a short walk, but it's not going to take you half a day.
He says, what about a 2-mile walk in the snow? Just to the right over the Schuylkill River.
Schuylkill.
I am Schuylkill. Sorry, I knew I was going to mispronounce. You can see how close the zoo is to the Rocky Steps. Super fun. I love because Brian lives there or is from there. He has this close geographical knowledge of all of the Rocky Steps. So thank you, Brian.
I'm 90% sure he's from it. He knows it very well.
Awesome. Thank you, Brian.
Brian Granko, he's our geographical guy. He's done that before for the show. He sends these geographical picture stuff. So he's really great. Thanks for listening, Brian. We do appreciate your insight and the fact that you listened to these 3 bums.
Indeed.
So when I had this plan to propose to my wife, there's a certain place, and it was maybe like a mile's walk where her apartment was at the time. I was like really psyching myself up for it. It was in March. The weather was like unusually cold and wet and stuff. And I'm like, hey, let's go for a walk. And she's like, are you sure you want to go for a walk in this weather? I'm like, yeah, it'll be good. And it was the most miserable, shitty walk.
I love that. But it's a good story. She probably didn't enjoy it at the time until you proposed. Then she was probably super jazzed.
Yeah, so maybe Rocky and Adrian had a similar really long trudge in the snow, and then it was worth it.
It's like the same, you and Rocky, Kyle.
I did the skating on the first date. The long march to the proposal were basically one and the same.
She wasn't busted on your first date, though.
Won't kiss and tell.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
Just to expand upon that with the walking in the snow, I have a similar story. I was not proposed to, but it was an interview. I went to an interview. This was in April, but March and April are kind of our biggest snow months here. It was like in a business park. It's pretty treacherous. Like there's snow and ice and uneven, but there were sidewalks. I go to this interview. I'm wearing like heels and a suit, right? And the COO interviewed with a number of people at this place. And the COO, who is a man with comfortable walking shoes on, is like, let's take a walk for our portion, for the hour portion. And I'm like, I did get the job. All of my friends coworker friends later were like, we felt so sorry for you that you got stuck with enter his name here, walking in heels in the wintertime for an hour.
I know why you got the job.
I'm smart. I don't know. I don't want to hear this nonsense, Ryan.
I was going to say that the walk was to his apartment.
Oh,
come on now. Come on. That is just terrible.
I don't know. Heels are not comfortable to walk in, men. So take some social cues and not ask someone to walk for an hour.
We don't notice if you're wearing heels or not.
No, I don't notice it.
Yes, you do.
No, we don't. We don't care. Same with your nails. We don't care what your nails look like.
I don't buy this. Our listeners, you notice if we don't look good. So it's like...
I'm not saying that nothing. I'm just saying that specifically, Guys are like, oh, she's in heels. We don't care. Other stuff like hair and stuff, sure.
Hair is important. Men are very big on hair.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I just think it's so non-observational to recognize that someone is wearing heels and that's just rude in my opinion.
I don't know. If my wife went missing right now, I wouldn't know what she's wearing, even if I've seen her all day. I don't know what she's wearing.
No, but you would recognize, like, if you're like, hey, let's go for a walk, and she's wearing heels, she would have to say, Ryan, I'm wearing heels. No, thank you.
Katie, what I mean is, not that he shouldn't have noticed you're wearing heels. What I am saying is, you just don't have to wear them.
I like to look nice when I present myself outwardly to the world, so I do it for me, but, you know. What? What'd you say?
Why start now?
Oh, dear.
Oh, okay, you ready, guys? Trivia. Let's go.
Okay.
Don't tell us in the chat. Play at home. Where does the fight take place?
It's just 10 minutes from my house.
What does Rocky write on the autograph he signs? What was Adrian's maiden name? What does Rocky want to get for the church with the money from the second fight?
Yeah.
I had to think about that one.
I mean, there's only so many things it could be, guys.
Lawyers for the kids that got molested. Who said, quote, I'll fight him any place, anytime. I kind of did the wrong voice. I apologize. Hint. Who said I'll fight him any place, anytime? Okay. I don't sweat you.
Was I don't sweat you the thing?
No.
Oh, that's literally my favorite thing that Polly's... Well, there's so many good ones, but I fucking love that.
So there you go. Those were our 5 questions for the day. Yeah, without further ado, let's roll right into the movie. So like Kyle was hinting at, Paul was reading Mail. We're about to see here. I said this before in the Going the Distance podcast, but this reminds me of the celebrity reading mean tweets. This is the same idea. You know, people talk about social media and celebrities should stay off social media, but you have to remember, young kids, that celebrities still receive mail. Social media just eliminates the whole postage thing and just makes it very easier, and everyone gets to read it, basically. But Paul's reading the hate mail. The mail comes in. I would assume there was probably mail that he received that was good. Like anything, he's focusing on the negative, which we all do. I'll get a negative comment on the podcast or something. People will like the show, but you get the one negative, oh man, how come I don't please everybody? So anyways, look at his 2 kids running through the hallway here. So here is Adonis's future stepbrother and sister.
Indeed. I almost don't have words to express my love for this house.
Oh.
It's amazing. I particularly love mid-century modern architectural style, so maybe that's why, but it's freaking awesome. It's cool. It's mid-century modern, so that's why I like it, but it's so awesome.
It has like a full bar in the background.
Yeah, it's a big bar.
I mean, this was like super modern for the time, like really state of the art. I would buy this house now if I had several $1 million, but
sure.
Mrs. Creed looks really nice. I love her outfit.
Yeah, everything's matching. It's a very brown decor, clothing.
Marianne, listen to this. You didn't beat nobody, and anybody who knows boxing knows the fight was fixed.
Now, that's an interesting one. We watched that fight. Now, if that was a fixed fight, they really put on a show.
Good point.
I don't get just the hate in general, because the fight was going to be fixed. He was like, I'm going to knock this guy out in 3. If that happened, I would understand him getting hate mail about that. It's like, hey, you fought this bum, you carried him for 3 rounds, and you knocked him out. This is an effing joke. This went 16 rounds where Apollo had his ribs broken and was spitting up blood in the middle of the ring and got embarrassed at the end of the fight. Who would set up that? This is conspiracy level stuff. I was going to name a specific conspiracy theory, but I'm not going to.
You're so diplomatic, Kyle. I love it.
This is actually interesting from Donald. Thank you, Donald. Donald, he's going to run his own podcast. He's going to run us into the ground with his knowledge. He said that originally one of the script drafts, Rocky received mail as well. Fan mail that he wasn't used to, but also hateful stuff as well. So that would make sense.
Does. I wonder why they cut that. That would have been a nice, comparative scene.
It would have been very interesting.
It's funny that people would know his address. I feel like Rocky would not be listed in the phone book because he didn't have a phone. It's funny how resourceful some people could be, though. Mm-hmm. They can find you and where you live and everything.
Now, if I were going to stalk Rocky, which I may have done if I were alive then, I probably would have sent mail to, and maybe some other things. I'm kidding, to the gym.
Used underwear? What?
People do some crazy shit. Obviously, I wouldn't do that, but people do some crazy shit.
Not you, of course.
But yeah, I mean, to your point, Ryan, people if he's getting hate mail, he said even from London or somewhere, he says, even from overseas, did he get bags and big mailboxes?
They do.
You see the mailbags in his office. Right behind him, you'll see two big burlap mailbags.
I'm so in love with the Creeds right now. The house, their outfits, because they have literal matching outfits on. They're both neutral. That goes with their mid-century theme. Apollo, I friggin' love it. It's monogrammed. It's like a satin sport leisure suit, jump sweatsuit. What do you call those?
Oh, I have no idea.
It's awesome. I love it so much.
I think it looks absurd, personally.
It's who he is, though. He's like this. Of course, that's what he's wearing.
No, he
love
pulls it off. But could you imagine like me and Kyle wearing that around the house?
No, because you guys aren't famous boxers. For Apollo, who is a showman and very into appearance.
So Marianne is, I forget the name of the actress. Again, a better podcast would have the name ready to go. But she, of course, has passed away. I don't know how soon after Rocky IV she passed away, but she was the same actress played Marianne Creed in parts 2 and 4, which I thought was great. I'm wondering, had she stayed alive, if she would have been in Creed, or do you think she would have been recast again?
It possibly would depend on how she looked, what her health was like, stuff like that. I would hope so.
I have my doubts because she doesn't really act that much in any of these. She has very small parts. I don't have any issues with her acting, but
it is, and I think they expanded on her role because they cast her, because they cast Felicia Rashad.
I think so. I agree. The next mean tweet.
This one came from London. You call yourself the champ. You're a fake. The fight was a fake. Go kill yourself.
Right to the point.
He has his glove necklace, too. The other cufflink.
As we all know, this is a question I'll ask you guys again. Maybe we'll re-ask it for Rocky V because we'll have probably different listeners by the time we get to Rocky V. So the question I have for you guys is, Mickey says to Rocky when he gives him the cufflink that it was a Rocky Marciano's cufflink. Mickey gives it to Rocky. Rocky asks the question, who did you give the other one to? And the answer was to some bum. Now, is that a nod to the fact that somehow got into Apollo's hands? We know Mickey and Apollo did not get along, but Mickey worked with these other trainers and that group of people. Is there a chance that Mickey's other bum, Marciano link, is what we see Apollo wearing? Because it's the same jewelry piece. Because why would, again, Stallone film that sequence in part 5? Rocky asks that. So, of course, the dialogue's written by, so Sly is telling the audience that there was another cufflink that we see this being worn right now. It's the same cufflink. It's the same one, I swear.
You're not unreasonable, however, to have no interest tying things together between films like that.
He says that, but then he does it so by accident.
I think it's a coincidence.
Another one.
Yeah.
That in real life, it would be near impossible. Both Rocky and Apollo would have it. But for the purposes of the movie, I agree with both of you. So there are times where continuity is completely ignored. And then there are some times where there's so much care taken with it. I agree with you there, Kyle. Ryan, I also agree with you that why would they write that in if it wasn't supposed to be? I do think that whether it was directly given to Apollo or that some other Mickey figure, maybe Tony or, somebody gave it to Apollo, because they're both champions. They are both Rocky and Apollo have held the title before. At any rate, I do think that it's meant for the movie's sake that they have each of the cufflinks.
That's what I think.
Okay, so I just want to just piece this together to make sure I understand. So we're talking about a scene in Rocky V, Rocky's memory of the past, which had taken place before Rocky II, the events of Rocky II. You'd have to say that whoever wrote that, I guess it would be Stallone writing that scene in Rocky V, got back to Carl Weathers wearing this cufflink in Rocky II, because I really don't think they've been waiting to unload this bomb from 1976 to 1979 to 1990. It would have been, okay, Apollo wore this back in Rocky II. Let's make a story around it and say that Rocky has the other cufflink. I don't buy it.
I hear you. But my counter argument to that is, if I was to debate this point or be pro, this is what's happening, why would Sly write the line, I gave it to some bum? I think it's this nod that Apollo's the bum.
But it wouldn't be Apollo, because Apollo would be like a kid. Apollo's born in 1942.
Yeah, I think we talked about this, that Apollo could have been he was being trained. Maybe Tony and Mickey knew each other in the early days of whatever, the boxing circuit. So, and then Tony adopts Apollo, as we know, he raised him like his own son. So it was a teenage Apollo. I don't know, man.
I'm seeing that meme with this guy with like all the strings.
Oh, I know.
On the board there.
I think it's fun. I think at the very least it's fun. It doesn't really matter, but it's interesting that the prop around Apollo's neck or Carl Weathers' neck, I'm 90% sure it looks exactly like the same prop that Rocky has in Part 5.
Ask that guy who knows Sly.
Man. I got to stop asking Sly. I've already got 2 questions from him. You know, the other one I got from him was the Leeches one for Rambo Part 2.
Yeah.
I think he likes that shit. It's not like you're doing it every week.
It's a good question. I gotta say, listening to another podcast on our network about the Rocky experience, I won't give anything away other than he was talking about some of the questions. There was a Q&A.
Oh, it's horrible.
And they were... I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Of course he likes dogs better than cats.
I know.
Of course he's knives over guns. I mean, have we met this person? Like,
I can't believe these people.
What kind of questions are they?
I'll say I can't believe these people. Let me just crap on these people. These idiot people who spend thousands of dollars to have supper with Sly. And they're such big fans, but they ask the most stupidest grade 4 questions. Like, wow.
But also, you know that answer.
Yes.
If you know Sly in the slightest, you would know when I was listening to it, I was like, duh. What dumb question. Yes.
They were stupid.
Sorry, I got like fired up about it a little bit.
I appreciate you saying that. And I will, offline, I'll talk to you about something else. But,
okay.
Yeah, if I was there, I would have been like, hey, Sly, when you wrote the cufflink scene in Rocky 5, was there any tie to the same necklace that Paul was wearing in Rocky 2? He would have got a chuckle out of it. He goes, oh, you guys know too much more than I do. But at least everyone in the audience would have been like, wow, I never thought of that question.
Instead of, hey, Sly, do you like dogs or cats better?
Yeah.
Are you freaking kidding me?
I know. What do you think, you morons? When has he ever had a cat in his movies or a pet cat on his Instagram?
You guys are so mad.
I'm mad at because these people had an opportunity to go there and see and meet and talk to him, and that's what they blew their question on.
Yeah.
That's what's frustrating.
Yeah.
Is it the real fans, the poor peons like me? Will never, Anyway. Louise brought up a good point. Louise says that having money and being competent are 2 totally different things. Lots of rich idiots.
That's so true.
Yeah.
So true.
Donald goes, another good question you should have asked is, what was it like working on Rocky?
Yeah.
Did you ever think Rocky was going to be big? Yeah, so Apollo reads the fan mail. It says, the fight was a fake. Go kill yourself. Hey, just wait till part 4.
Yeah.
Also, that is literally a tweet that someone would tweet, like at someone.
You were saying about social media and how it's just different. This does show that people are not any crazier than they used to be. I saw this Vietnam War documentary. It talked about this massacre where this village of people got killed by some soldiers. And this reporter was reading these telegrams that were coming in. And some of them were like outraged by what happened. But then some of them was like, they're all the enemy, just kill them all. And I'm like, this is the YouTube comments that just like telegram for.
It is, however, I will say that it's so easy now. If you wanted to be crazy and hateful, you had to put in a fair amount of effort to do so.
Wouldn't you rather play with the children than read hate mail?
No.
He's like, no.
He's like, no,
He's
actually.
a shit father, too.
Yeah.
No, the kids irritate me as well, so I'm going to go back to my mail.
How much
I
did
got
you
my
get
mistress on the side.
No, he sleeps with the mistress during the Rocky 4 dance sequence. That was the time.
That wasn't his first time, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
Paula was wearing a condominium during Rocky 2. You're right.
How much did you get to carry that bum for 15 rounds? You're a disgrace to your people.
Disgrace your people. Who wrote that one? The Italian?
I know.
Given the beating Rocky got, I don't know how anyone could say that he was carried or got lucky over 15 rounds.
Ribs
you can either
broken.
take that, like Apollo took a beating, but like Rocky took a beating. Like you can't say he carried Rocky. Like he pounded that guy for 15 or for 16 rounds. 15 rounds. I can't believe I said 16. I think I said 16 earlier too.
That's fine. We forgive you.
Well, this is her Adrian moment. Adrian on the stairs. Why can't you change? Everybody else does.
Yeah, these nagging women, shut up and let the men be men. That's a ridiculous comment to make. This is literally his livelihood. The house you're walking around in, Marianne, the luxuries you afford is because your husband comes from your husband's job.
You can be a boxer, and I would have a hard time doing it as well if I were Apollo, because he's very egotistical, and so he can't let it go. But she's just like, who cares?
I understand, like a public figure, which Apollo is, you almost have to, especially today, social media, yada, yada. You have to be able to take the hits, or don't be a public figure, whether you're the President of the United States, a celebrity. She's right. The healthy advice is to ignore it. But this is the first time Apollo has ever faced a real challenge, and he's been exposed to a degree.
That's true.
He's never gone the distance with anybody. He has a complete perfect record. There's a chink in his armor, and it's been exposed, and so he's embarrassed. He told Rocky in the hospital, I gave you all that I had. But at the same time, he's mad at that. He's mad that he has time is now come. You know, like Rocky says in a Creed, time is showing its face on the champion right now that he can't do what he used to do all the time. That's why he can't ignore it, because I think he's just been exposed for the human that he is, and that there's other people out there that can go the distance with him. This is all he is. Think about how he was in Rocky IV. What did he do when they stopped chanting your name and nobody's asking me for this is just who Apollo is. So I'm just a little surprised that Marianne, who's married to this guy, doesn't even know him at all. Like, this is just who Apollo is. It's everything to him. He's been boxing since he was walking.
That is a good point. And it just dawned on me that perhaps this is the moment that he starts cheating, because he needs to like prove to himself that he still is a man, so to speak, and he can still accomplish things.
He probably took his secretary behind the office after this.
Mm-hmm.
The one that, she's a little bit older than what he goes for, but the one that served coffee in part one.
Oh my God. Oh.
She's all dried up, so he didn't have to wear condominium.
Yeah, what was her name?
Her name was Shirley.
Shirley, yes. Shirley brings him coffee, but that's it. Nothing more.
Shirley likes her coffee like she likes her men, black and strong.
Why can't you ignore it?
Are you serious?
I love that. See? Are you serious? I love how he chucks that at her.
Ooh, and the outfit. Are you guys seriously not in love with Apollo in this outfit? Oh my God. That's why it's awesome, because it's so something Apollo would wear. He is absurd. Like, he, as a human being, is a little absurd.
I also think those track lights up there are really tacky looking.
Those are again back. Those are back.
That's hilarious.
Like the white track lights like that, they look really cheap and shitty.
What kind of books what is she carrying? She's carrying these books.
I wondered if the back of it almost looked like those little golden books, little children's books.
Oh, is it one big book? It looks, maybe she's going to read to the kids.
Yeah, I don't know. The back of it looked like that.
Yeah.
Maybe. But are you serious?
But that's what I'm saying. I think he's saying you don't know me after all this time together. Are you serious? Do you not know why I'm upset about this? This is obviously something that he feels she should have known about him. I'm not a marriage counselor, but in that moment, she could just say, like Adrian does with Rocky, when Rocky says in the first film, I don't know if I can beat him. I shouldn't be up there with him. And then Adrian says, well, what are we going to do? What should we do? That's what true. She could have done, was just say, okay, I see this is upsetting you. Understandable. What can we do? What are we going to do then? We'll ask him, what's your plan? I don't know. I'm just mad right now. And he walks away. She didn't acknowledge his feelings at all.
Maybe she did earlier and she's just sick of it. Sure. Like, quit. Enough with this. But yes, you're right. They don't have the marriage, clearly, that Rocky and Adrian do. Because Rocky doesn't cheat on Adrian.
I love how we're retconning Apollo now because of Creed. It's like
I know.
We're talking about all the different times that Apollo could have stepped out on Mary.
Like, this is the moment. He's like,
yeah, you know what?
F you, lady. I'm going
to... For the rest of the films, between 2 and 3 anyways, we should always say, at what point did Apollo step out on Marianne in this sequence? So, yeah, after this sequence, he went up and looked up in his black book for someone to hook up with. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Come on, let me get you 4 there. All right, I'm ready. Hey, what are you getting wise with me? Come on, throw the ball, Swifty. Let me see your best here. I'm ready.
Of course, for our listeners, everyone should know this, but Rocky's on his knees. He's playing stickball. Now, look how close all the kids are to this. What is he hitting? Is he actually hitting a ball or a rock? Do we know what he's hitting? I've never played this before.
I'd say it's a ball. Okay. You see him hit it later. I think it's weird he's doing this. I don't play with kids, especially when you don't have kids, right? Like, say my daughter brings her friends over or something like that. I might do something with them. If I didn't have kids, I wouldn't be like, hey, 9-year-olds or 10-year-olds, let me hang out with you guys for a bit and play some stickball. Yeah.
He has a rapport with them. He went running with them, training. It's like the neighborhood kids. I think there is a rapport. They know Rocky and in awe of him now. And so it's like sweet also to show the contrast between what's going through Rocky's head right now versus what's going through Apollo's head.
It is kind of weird. You're right that he's playing with kids. Is this what men did in the 70s? I don't know. But it's to show his likability, his innocence. He's a part of the neighborhood fixture. Everyone knows now he's a local hero. And he's just taking... They were probably already playing. He was walking by.
Yeah, you're right.
He's like, the police officer picks up the basketball with the kids on the court. This is what he's doing. He was going for a walk and he said, hey, let me hit a couple with you kids. That's what it was. And so...
I'm looking for Swifty.
I love how Rocky plays with strangers' kids more than his own.
Yeah.
Also, like the shoes that he wears. I find that so weird. As someone who wears running shoes all the time, or sneakers, or whatever you want to call them.
So, okay, stickball, I'm not too sure how it works, but I just feel like they're really close to Rocky, and that thing, if Rocky's going to hit it, and I think he does actually hit it in the film, or they make the sound effect that he hits something. That thing went forward. I'm not trying to be a helicopter parent here, but those kids are really close to getting hit with that stickball.
They're in the street playing. I don't think their parents really give a shit what they're doing.
I mean, I like it. Don't get me wrong, I miss those days, but now me as a parent, I'm seeing this through the parent eyes now. Like, ooh, that's.
I would imagine that he has smarts enough to like not crack it into the outfield, so to speak. Just like hit it a little bit to these kids.
I'm waiting for you. Hey, come on, I'm ready now. I'm just warming up. Are you ready for this? You better keep
close up of a kid's butt.
Like a little now I know that they weren't no waste. Come on, Swifty.
What does that line mean? Do you want to hear that again? Because I actually don't know what he means by it.
Warming up. Are you ready for this? You better keep your mouth closed and come in that direction.
Now I know the day weren't no waste. Did anyone catch that before?
Never.
Now I know the day weren't no waste. That is horrific grammar. He hit the ball. Now it's a good day for Rocky. He didn't. What?
Well, grammar. Rocky's known to have bad grammar. I'm not concerned about
this. This is like third language grammar. I don't actually know what he's saying.
The day wasn't wasted because I hit the ball.
Like, we're having a good time. I hit the ball. I'm not wasting my time doing this. I hit the. My aunt's going to be kept up at night by this.
I guess I don't mean to read too much into it, but I've just never noticed before, so I'm just digesting this dialogue. All right.
It's strange.
What I find odd is Rocky hits this ball way out there, right? Like way out there. They're like, oh, what a shot. Then he's like, all right, come on, Swifty. And then he's like getting ready to bat again. But like, did they have another ball? Are they forgetting about the current ball that they have?
I don't know how stickball works. Nobody ran. Nobody did anything. They got a lot of players not moving.
I know that they weren't no waste. Come on, Swifty.
All right, so now we're cut to a hospital sequence where Adrian is in the gynecologist's office. He's seen if she's been busted.
He's got his whole shopping adventure outfit on, bracelet included.
Yeah, the gloves.
Dog collar included, and his watch on the other wrist.
The Eye of the Tiger jacket. Yeah, he's...
I understand the fingerless gloves, first of all. I think it's weird if you have fingerless gloves and your sleeves are up.
Well, I think it's a gripping thing. I think it has something to do with being able to like grip things. And I don't know. It was a look because a lot of bad guys in the 80s wore them too.
Yeah, fingerless gloves were the bee's knees if you had them back in the day. You were cool.
Yeah, I don't really get it either. And he's just a fidgety person. That's the ball.
So the doctor's name is W. Borsora.
Have to give them a little credit that it's a woman doctor.
Is it? I can't remember.
It is a woman.
Oh, okay.
At least when Adrian
we don't see a doctor.
Labor, it is. Well, later, I guess we'll find out it's a woman.
I'm totally naive. I'm totally stupid because, of course, when I've had babies in this day and age with my wife, we peed on a stick to know you're pregnant. So I guess they didn't have that back in 79, 76.
I've never been pregnant, but I would imagine you pee on a stick, it's positive, and then you go to the doctor for like a real test, right? Didn't you guys do that?
No,
you just the stick was always always right. The stick never lied.
But you still have to go for your first appointment.
Eventually, but
not for a while.
But they're not confirming a pee test. They're finding out if she's pregnant. Like she probably was late, so Adrian's like, I'm late. So I'm going to go to the doctor to see if I'm late for a good reason. I guess what I don't know is I don't know what the doctor does in the office.
Probably like a blood test or something. There had to have been a way back in the day.
Yeah, was a pee, was a blood. The doctor goes, yeah, you're busted, but that's all they can tell. I don't know.
And Rocky waits outside. He's not with her. Back in the day, fathers were like,
I love it.
Not at all.
I love it. I wish I could have been in the waiting room for the delivery, handing out cigars.
I feel like I've heard stories about in the 50s or whenever, I don't know when. They would like knock a woman out, somehow pull the baby out. I don't get how that works. And then you wake up and here's your baby. Now, that would maybe, I mean, if I were to have liked kids enough to want one, I could maybe do that.
That's how Bill Cosby gets them pregnant, knocks them out.
Yeah. It's just crazy how times have changed about birthing.
Yeah, it is weird.
Fathers involved and stuff, yeah.
It's pretty good now. I think we got to figure it out pretty good now.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yo, Adrian, you did it!
Yo, Adrian, you did it.
Yeah, what an accomplishment.
You're not dried up just yet.
My God, I can't
There's
stand
a couple eggs left in there.
I knew you had it in you. Woke up this morning, you had a smile on your face. There's something special going to happen today. I wasn't sure what, but I knew it was going to be different.
So she woke up with a smile on her face, so the day's going to be different. Has she be regretting the marriage every day before that?
He pleasured her last night.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Their honeymoon stage is over, probably.
Well, for Rocky, as you mentioned in the last episode, it never ends for Rocky.
It doesn't. Also, they've not been married. They just got married. This is all very fast succession. So, but they're still newlyweds. And isn't the newlywed period a year or two?
Really, that long?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Especially for them, since they got married after knowing each other for like a month.
Oh, yeah. Now, what I love about this sequence here, just look in the background while we play. There's people watching the filming. They're not part of the film. They're just in the area, and they're watching the filming.
I want to also point out that Adrian is back to wearing her old red coat, the fancy coat Rocky purchased for her.
That is a good observation.
There's a sequence coming up, which I find grating. Rocky 2 has a few more flaws than Rocky 1. That's one of them. There's some dialogue coming up here. It's a little bit too much. And he acts too childlike almost in this one. It's weird. He's just more amped up.
What's his brain damage?
I guess. Yeah. Here they are talking about it, which is totally legit. Yes, when you have a baby, the husband and wife or the mother and father or whoever, whatever, they talk a lot about the future, the things, their hopes and dreams. It's very normal, especially for the first kid. By the time you get to the sixth kid with me, you're just like, ugh, whatever.
No baby books for the twins?
Everything's digital photos now, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the third kid and my baby book was like pretty slim pickings.
Yeah, I know, it's terrible.
But to your point, people are very excited for the first kid.
Oh, yeah. And then by the time the third and fourth, yeah, it's like, oh, whatever. We kind of cheated because our last two kids were twins, so they have a little bit more photos because they're twins.
Yeah.
It's a novelty.
No, I was thinking, this kid has your good looks, and your good brains, and my good left hook is really going to be something.
He's going to be like Apollo Creed. Good looks and a good puncher. There you go.
Oh, no, what if it's a girl? I'm a girl. What's a girl?
I think the subtitle's wrong there.
Oh.
Levy said, if it's a broad, what if it's a girl? I'm pretty sure he says
what?
Back a little bit.
Yeah, well.
Good looks, and your good brains, and my good left hook is really going to be something. Oh, no, what if it's a girl? I'm a girl. What's a girl?
Well,
he corrects himself. He says broad, but he corrects the girl really quick.
Yeah, he does.
It's hard to hear. I think it's just like mumbled a little bit.
No, I think Kyle's right. Kyle, I think you're right. I think he says broad. Now, is that Rocky or Sly correcting himself?
I don't know.
It's almost like it cuts out a little, or it's staticky over.
Let's ask the listeners.
Louise agrees with Kyle. Kyle's right. Never caught that before. Nice catch, Kyle. You're right. He definitely says broad, and then is that Rocky or Sly changing it? Was that Sly being like, I should say girl, not broad.
If you, as the writer, recognized your mistake, you would just remove it. So I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced.
Well, I'm Team Kyle on this. I heard it. I've always read the captions. So I didn't hear it because I read the captions, but no audible. It says broad. Louise also says he thinks it was a Rockyism that was meant to be said by. That was Rocky saying it, and Sly wrote that accordingly.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't think about that.
Well, she'll be everything I'm not. She won't have to be shy.
Oh, no.
We could give her singing and dancing lessons.
Yeah. How about a new dress every day? Would you like that?
Let her choose her gender. What are you guys doing?
Okay, it is the 70s, but a girl doesn't have any worth if she can't sing or dance and wear dresses. Like, what the hell?
That's why Rocky said he had to fight, because he couldn't sing or dance. So they're trying to make sure she's not they didn't know MMA female fighting was going to be a thing.
That is true. Maybe that's where they were going. But things of this time is he doesn't even consider that it could be a girl and that she could still be a powerful, intelligent, strong person.
Of course.
God forbid.
I think they know that because Rocky sees Adrian as like that. Rocky knows the value of a woman.
Yes.
My daughter does horseback riding. She's done singing and drama classes, and my boys have no interest. They've always been invited to do so. They have no interest. The girl does. But she's also very strong physically and all these other things, and smart and all those. But she gravitates towards horses and dresses and pink. And she's 8 years old, and she picks all her stuff. Like, it's everything.
I think that there's some cultural things, like boys are supposed to gravitate towards sports, but girls do too. It's just, there is obviously there are things like that, but it's just to say, like, music isn't girly, sports aren't
I would love
But
if my boys danced or sung, but they have no interest. They just have zero interest.
Patrick Swayze, can we all?
Oh, yeah, he's a singer.
Talk about a man
that
but
can dance.
Singing and dancing.
Absolutely.
There are just a few things that are a little cringy in these movies now.
I have to hire a bodyguard when she starts going to school to keep all the boys away. You know how that little boys can be. They're real pests in general, can't they?
And if it's a
It's true.
It is true.
When you have a son, you worry about the one girl. When you have a girl, you worry about all the boys.
We've talked about that, and I know you have like normal recommendations for that. But what I laughed at is boys can be real pests in general. I'm like, yeah, they sure shit can.
Yeah, of course. That hasn't changed in 40 years.
Yeah.
Now, this is where it gets a little bit annoying.
boy, I'd like him to be just like the father.
Don't you think one dumbbell in the family is enough, huh? I'll tell you one thing, this kid ain't gonna get no tattoos. It ain't gonna be hanging on no corners. He ain't gonna dress like no wise guy like me. I'll tell you that. He's gonna be a good somebody like you.
The father? Is the father not here? Where is he? Who'd you sleep with, Adrian?
So Rocky is now saying he is dumb because he says during the commercials coming up that he's not punchy, he just talks that way. So, like, which one is it, Rocky?
I think it was more so like meatheady.
When we say dumbbell, usually it's referred to as smarts.
I know, but I think it was like a double meaning in this way.
They're doing the classic. She's got the brains. He's got the strength. Yeah, we get it. But now he's going to say, I want to be somebody like you, which is sweet. We get that sweet. But this drags on too long.
Like you.
No, like you.
Like you.
Like you.
Like
But you hang up. No, you hang up.
Yo, Adrian, we did it, didn't we?
They're excited. They're giddy. I understand.
That's one side of when you find out you have a kid. Their side is fear.
Oh, yeah.
First kid, right? Because I'm going to be responsible for this. And what do I know about being a parent? You have this helpless infant that you have to do everything for, and you're like, oh, shit. So you have this giddy period, then you have the shit's getting real period. Which is funny because when you have your other kids, you're like, yeah, it'll be fine. But once you've lived it, you're like, I'll be fine. I know how to take care of a baby.
I mean, it is a little crazy that that's the one thing that literally you have no qualifications whatsoever that literally anybody can do, and you're in charge of like a whole human being. Mm-hmm. That's nuts.
It is.
It is. But I guess in that sense, humanity's been doing it for so long.
But it's just wild to think about.
Yeah.
Listen, the reason we didn't call you a couple of months ago is we wanted to wait till the swelling went down.
Oh, I see.
So that's actually a good nod to the time lapse. Like, I actually don't mind that because Adrian's showing a little bit, or she's wearing a pregnancy type outfit dress. So it's been a few months. They haven't called. They wait for the swelling to go down. That's fair. Right now, Rocky's in the makeup chair, getting makeup on his face. He's dressed like a caveman.
Look terrific now.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're going to make a buck together. Don't worry about it.
That's good.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I got a deal today from Smart Deal Toy
I love this toy. I think it's great.
Company. Did you ever hear of them?
No.
Maybe Mrs. Rocky did. You ever hear of Smart Deal Toy?
No.
No? Big. They're number one. And they want to make a Rocky doll. You understand? You can kick it, you can beat it. For kids, you can kick it, you can beat it. It does everything. You
smart,
That's
yeah.
right. Takes a terrific beating. I think it's a great idea. We're going to make a lot of money with it. Okay? Is he ready, dear?
Finito.
Oh, look.
Did he say, is he ready, dear?
Yes, he did. I think the idea is it's a man putting on makeup, so maybe I think a lot of men that do makeup probably aren't straight. Every makeup guy that I've seen seems to be not straight, but that's fine. But I think he did say dear, which is like, that doesn't age well. You couldn't do that today to a makeup person.
No.
But I do like the actor who's playing the sales. I think he's doing a great job. The way he clips his, I know something about it's almost like mafioso type talk. We're going to make a buck together. You know what I mean? You're going to make a buck and beat it. It's for the kids, you know? Mrs. Rocky, you ever heard of this? I just love the way he talks.
I love the Mrs. Rocky. Yeah. I've always thought that was kind of funny. But Mrs. Rocky is wearing the most hideous maternity. I mean, talk about how we've come so far in maternity wear. Her dress is like a Little House on the Prairie dress. What is it? You guys never were bothered by this. You don't notice these things?
I would wear it. She looks frumpy.
She's in pregnant mode. I want to be comfortable.
Sure, but you don't have to look like I don't know. I hate it. It's a sign of its times, though, because, like, I don't think there were stylish maternity wear was maybe hard to come by in 1976. I did always wonder about when the Clippy Toy Company guy is talking about you can kick it, it can really take a beating. He like really hammers that in. Do you think Rocky is annoyed or taken a little offense to that or not?
Yeah, I think he's just like, I get it.
I think he's preoccupied. He doesn't want to deal with this right now. He's getting psyched up to do this commercial. Probably pretty insecure because he's totally out of his element here. He has enough on his plate, and this guy's bringing up this smart deal toy stuff, and he's like, yeah, okay, whatever. Like, I just want to focus on this right now.
The idea of that toy is, I don't know if offensive is the right word, but it's like making him the butt of a joke.
Sure. Oh, I agree. Yeah, you're a good point. Now you ask, how do I look? And the guy says, the best.
The best.
Fabulous.
Adrian, how do I look?
Different.
Great answer. Very diplomatic.
Yeah.
I understand Adrian is hesitant about how her husband looks, but you can't have it both ways. You didn't let your husband fight later in the film because he was going to do commercials. So you should be supportive because this is the moneymaker. She doesn't want him to do commercials and box. Like, which one is it?
She's not about the money. And I think she thinks this is degrading for him.
Why is the pet shop such an honorable job and not doing a commercial?
I don't think it's the doing of the commercial. It's this particular way that he's portrayed is, like Kyle said, it's a
sure, but throw me in a caveman outfit for $300,000. I'll do it. Whatever.
Sure, but I think when she was on board with doing commercials, this is not what she envisioned. She thought it would be maybe classier or something. I wouldn't want to see my husband in a demeaning manner either.
Depends on the personality. Some people are better at hiding things than others. My wife, for example, she cannot hide her true feelings. Like, she can't be like smiley and happy with people if she's pissed off at them. Someone will be like, oh, hey, how's it going? And she's like, fine. And I think Adrian's a little bit like that too, where it's like, she just can't fake it. Like, she might want to be supportive of him and just let him do this, but she's put on the spot like that and said, how do you look? It's like, okay, I got to think of something not in her wheelhouse to be fake. But she says the diplomatic thing of different.
Come on, let's get it on, huh?
Okay.
He's going to be great.
Don't be nervous.
Yeah. How do I look? I look stupid, don't I?
Yes.
You got any deodorant?
She's honest.
Yeah.
No.
Excuse me.
I don't think I ever noticed that before.
All right.
Do you got any deodorant?
He's doing an aftershave commercial, which does offer a smell, but you should put it on your neck, right? You can dab it on your armpits too if you like.
Unless, just now thinking, because
nervous?
she says, don't be nervous, like stress sweat.
So I think it's
Is that-
antiperspirant. So he should have said antiperspirant. Deodorant masks the smell. Antiperspirant stops from sweating. So maybe he's
one in the same. Yeah.
So that's probably what he's referring to is, do you have anything to stop me from sweating because I'm nervous? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go, Arthur. In the cage, Rock. Just the way we rehearsed.
Everyone get. So they have rehearsed, which doesn't make sense.
Oh, good call. Also, this director guy's outfit is quite an outfit as well.
Yeah, those who can't direct movies direct commercials. So this guy's got a chip on his shoulder already. He probably thinks he should be some sort of big-time director. And I know commercials are big business, and they get paid well. These commercial directors probably get paid a pretty penny. However, he acts like he's Steven Spielberg, or he should be Steven Spielberg. But he does say, just like we rehearse. So what did they rehearse? Stepping into a cage?
That is a really good point.
So why are these words all of a sudden so troubling to Rocky?
Ready for picture
come on,
now?
Rock, we're running late. Girls, come on, look alive, dear.
Girls,
deer. Yeah. I want to say deer.
A little higher.
Come on, deer.
Show the product. That's
Look alive. Come on.
So he's telling him to show the product, lift those things a little higher. Yeah, fair enough. So far, he's just all business. Not really quite a dick, but, he's just, let's get going here. It's been a long day, so he's already irritable.
Magic time. Look alive.
Yeah. Roll, please.
Speed. Feast after shave, take one. Action.
Go now.
Action.
In the morning, I splash it on, and it makes me smell manly.
Smell manly? Cut. What's that? Smell manly? Can you read that, Rock?
Yeah.
Let's go again.
Well, excuse me.
again, fellas.
I know I said it wrong, but it really don't smell manly. I mean, do you think this stuff smells like a man? I say absolutely no.
Are you finished?
How rude already.
It's funny to watch Rocky say that, yes. He's being honest like a kid. Kids say the darndest things, and that's kind of what he's acting like. He's acting kind of childlike. Kyle brought up in the previous episode with him in the house saying, he acts like a kid. This is where to put my toys. So he's kind of acting childlike here as well again. To be fair to the director, to defend him a little bit, he's okay, we don't care what you think about the product. We're just trying to sell it. So are you finished? Okay, fair enough.
True.
I get he's being a dick. I understand that. But at the same time, he's right. We don't need to hear your opinion on the product. Let's just get back to the cards. Apparently you can't read smell manly. Like, it is a little ridiculous that he he puts it I in mainly. I don't know. He's never saw the word man before.
I'm sorry.
Okay, rolling again.
Nice and quiet.
Feast after shave, take 2.
Action.
In the morning, I splash it on, and it surrounds my face with class.
Cut. Action.
Now, what I love, I think is a great addition to this film, or that they wrote in that the crew's laughing. I think that's great. The joke that Rocky is right now, that they can't believe this guy is punchy like this. Like, wow, this is real. This is embarrassing.
It's funny when athletes do commercials like this, how they're really out of their element. I don't know, you probably don't see these where you are, Ryan, but like Connor McDavid does a lot of commercials, and you see them here in Edmonton. Katie, Connor McDavid's probably like one of the most famous hockey players right now.
Okay.
And he is so bad at doing commercials. It's like, I come to this car dealership and you can get a good deal on this car at a good interest rate. And I'm like, okay, stick to hockey, buddy. Like, just do that, okay?
I notice it too when there's like guest stars on a TV show and they're not actors, they're athletes or whatever,
like
music.
Brett Favre and Ace Ventura or whatever it was. Remember he did that big role cameo?
Oh,
like,
Dan Marino? Was it Dan Marino?
Sorry. Where was Brett Favre? Because I remember someone was making fun of pronouncing his name. Because he kept saying Brett Favre.
Oh.
That was something about Mary, I think is what that one was.
Oh.
Anyway,
God.
so, but
Deep cut.
Yeah, so you're right, these sports people, when they do cameos in films or commercials, you're like, yeah, you're an amazing athlete, but you're not an actor. Yeah.
Exactly. One of the things I've always been a little curious about, obviously it's for the movie to showcase that he is struggling to read. Why do they keep changing the dummy cards, so to speak? Every time they cut, they'll probably do multiple, but just stick with the one setup.
No, this is the next sentence. So this is just when they say cut, what they're doing is he got it out. Cut. We have that print, and they can edit together.
He didn't correctly ever say it.
The last sentence was right.
I think about it surrounds my face with class. Like, I don't know what would have said otherwise.
When they say cut, they're saying, we'll take it, cut and finish, move on to the next thing. So he mispronounced mainly, yes, so they can't use that. So they could have shown that he did it properly. Now he's doing this one properly. They yell cut because they realize we have to, like, one sentence at a time, cut it.
Yes.
Next sentence, because we can't keep rolling. He won't say 20 sentences in a row properly, so they have to cut it almost every time.
That is a good point. They just never show us that he correctly states smell manly.
He's reading it so monotonely, that's what they're laughing at. Like, this guy cannot even emote anything. This is ridiculous.
Then he keeps screwing up, and so they're like, oh, get him in the new set. Like, why is that going to be different?
They scrapped the Beast thinks it wasn't working, and they're going to the new set. Because the guy is frustrated. He's like, all right, fine. Let's just go to the new set. Let's just do it this way.
If it's the case that he can't read these cards, you're right. Why would the other cards matter too? You're right. It shouldn't matter which outfit he has on.
And Beast aftershave will turn the women into beast.
Cut. Action.
If you want to be the king of the beast and smell like a jungle rat, cat, they look a little like.
Action.
In the afternoon, when I put it on to go out with the guys and have a rendezvous.
Cut! Cut! We're cutting this.
You're right. So he's frustrated here. We're cutting the set. Rendezvous. You know what's funny is they should have used
weird
it.
Word.
They should have used it though, because it kind of plays into the Rocky. Like they could have made it fun if they wanted to.
Have you guys ever said, I'm going to go out with the guys and have a rendezvous?
I say rendezvous. Funny enough. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
I agree that it's pointless to switch sets, though, because it's like the reading problem isn't going to change. Because it takes like forever to switch the set, presumably, right? Like it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
You're better off just putting that work into doing more takes of this so you get it right.
Yeah.
Don't just memorize the line. Hey, Rocky, you're supposed to say, when I go out with the guys for a rendezvous. Could you say that? When I go out with the guys for a rendezvous. And just have them memorize it, and then you don't have to read it off the card.
Yeah. I've always thought that was so strange, too, but it's just to showcase this is really cringy. And I think Melissa sent us an email about how she really, like emotionally, I can't remember what words she used, but it really makes you sad for him. Oh yeah. Man.
He's feeling the pressure of the lights and the crowd and the people are laughing. He's aware of it. He's aware that he's getting laughed at. He's aware.
I hate being laughed at. It's like really triggering for me.
Sure.
I'm sure most people don't like it, but like for me particularly bad. So if I were in that situation and I was struggling in a commercial, people were going to laugh at me like that that would just make my anxiety go up and make me perform so much worse. The crew there is really unprofessional. Like, you can think what you want about it, but don't laugh at the person when they're trying to do their job.
Good point.
We're going to the alternate set.
New deal.
I can get it. You know, it's
I'm sure you can. Will you get out of the
word
cage?
rendezvous.
Yes,
you know.
rendezvous over to the other set, Rock, if you don't mind.
Sure.
We've only wasted 4 hours.
4 hours. Wow, that is pretty bad.
When they're shooting TV shows and stuff, and I know this is different, TV shows are not the same as commercials, they'll work for like 12 to 16 hours to do like a scene. Like, it could be a long time, or a movie. Like, it's weird how like many takes and stuff they do. Like, I always just think of them just doing it, and you do your scene and you're done and you move on, but everything just has to be perfect.
Arthur, let's reorganize here. We're going to the alternate set.
Sounded great inside before it come out like that.
Get the damn club away from them and get the girls into their other outfits. Where is the wardrobe people? Where are the prop people? All right, wet them down.
So they've got the other set. Time has passed, probably an hour or two. I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. Put into the ring, change outfits. They should have started with this one because I think it makes more sense that he's a boxer.
It does, but the beast aftershave component, it's like, I don't know, beastly.
I guess.
He is embarrassed and he's trying to rationalize to Adrian, or he's embarrassed in front of his wife doing this.
It's funny what he was saying about, like, it sounded good in his head. I'm learning French right now, and I practice with my wife who actually can speak French.
Right.
I could say it fine in my mind. Then when I have to make those sounds, it just sounds like shit. Like,
French is hard. Good for you, Kyle.
Yeah, good for you. I wouldn't do it.
Arthur, step out, please.
Speed. Beast aftershave, the contender, take 7.
Try to get it right. Action.
So they're calling this the Contender, which I think is a great little nod to, again, future Sly projects. I love it. He did that reality show, The Contender. It's just crazy how much stuff he's done in these films and TV shows. It all the same world.
Indeed.
When he created that reality show, The Contender, did he know about this commercial that he wrote for Rocky?
The answer is no.
I don't think he thought back to, like, this set being called
I know,
The
but
Contender.
I love it, though. But I just don't know of any other actor who's done so many of these films and projects that has so much connections to stuff. Like, again, with Rambo Part 2, where Ko says to Rambo, "You're not expendable." And then he does a whole franchise called The Expendables. I'm just saying, it's just very interesting that Sly has so many different projects that seem to, key moments or key dialogue will eventually become something else. Now, I could be wrong because I'm a Sly fan. Maybe Harrison Ford does too. I don't know. Let me know.
I have 2 thoughts on that. 1, there's only so many boxing jargon words. And 2, each person has their own words that just come to mind more like, he should have a show or a movie called Absolutely. Sure. Those are just words that he uses a lot. Yeah.
It is an interesting connection to his Sly universe, so to speak. All right. So here you go. Let's see how he does here. Great makeup job. Looks like the same makeup job for Part 1.
Oh, I hate it. It looks really bad.
Hi, my name is Rocky Balboa, the Italian Stallion. They say I'm the American dream, but not because... Can I do it over again?
Christ, cut. No, just keep it rolling, keep it rolling. Just read it off the dummy cards.
So what the problem here is they don't have the editing software that we have today. So when they say cut, they actually literally would cut the film. That is your editing. They cut the film and start a new roll. So when they piece together the edits, it's a little bit easier. They're actually editing on the spot as best they can. Now they're saying, well, no, just keep that actual film rolling. We'll piece it together later. Let's just keep going.
Dummy cards.
Please, go on.
Wait a minute. I'd like to explain something. I ain't punchy. I got what you call, like, I don't know, a relaxed brain, but I ain't punchy, It's just the way I talk here.
What's the difference? Can you just do it the way it's written?
Well, that ain't right. This whole thing here ain't right,
What isn't right?
Well, you're a rude guy. I'm trying very hard, and you're being rude. That's bad manners, ain't it, Adrian?
Yes.
But I tell you, I gotta be almost punchy to be doing this in front of my wife.
He's realizing, yes, this is ridiculous. It's no longer about the money, the paycheck. I'm being embarrassed. This guy's being rude. I'm sure a different director. I'm sure any 3 of us in this, with our personalities and our temperaments, we would have been much kinder to the Rocky character and saying, okay, let's just, like Kyle said, let's just repeat after me. Just take an extra 5 minutes. We're just going to do one sentence at a time. Might be a bit of a process, but we'll get through this. Let's just work on this. I have a job to do. My job is to get this commercial made. Let's just get it made. Let's just get this done. Don't force the guy to quit, because now he's going to quit and you have nothing. The director kind of shot himself in the foot.
Meet your talent where they are.
Yeah, this guy was like super annoyed from day one. I can understand how he could get annoyed doing this. You know, like if you're dealing with kids, almost. I know Rocky's not a kid, but like sometimes I'll deal with my daughter doing her homework, and it'll be something I feel like is really easy. Mm-hmm. She's struggling. I can get annoyed like this guy. But like Ryan said, you kind of hold back. What I don't like about this guy is that it's not like you see him progressively get more annoyed. He's just like an asshole from the first minute you see him.
In every workplace, we have bosses like that. We have co-workers like so. Yeah, that's his idling level. Is he's just a dick. Yeah,
this cannot be your first rodeo, buddy. Working with somebody who's not up to your or whatever that is, and so he says it later. I only work with professionals. Get me a professional.
You're right. He's never worked with a sports guy, so he's probably insulted. Like, oh, this guy's already a celebrity. He can just walk onto my commercial set and be an actor. He's not. So he's a combative right away.
A nod to your point about the nods, Ryan. Punchy the dog.
Yeah, I know. It's just in brands.
In Rocky Balboa.
Want to quit? Then quit. Leave. Get out of here! I didn't want you for the setup in the first place. Yeah. You have wasted our time, sir.
I should call him sir, but yeah, he didn't want him in the first place, so he came in combative right away.
It's a complete bust the whole afternoon. Leonard, where are you going? I want you to take him with you, Leonard.
Now, I don't understand why the director has any kind of power over the commercial people are the ones that hire. Like, it's a weird, unless they're all under the same company, umbrella somehow.
I don't know, and the guy slinks away. What the hell is that?
He's probably embarrassed because he got this guy to a deal and then
didn't realize he couldn't read.
Right?
Yeah.
I love how I want you to take him with you, Leonard. What? Leonard's going to walk in the ring and escort Rocky out. Like, I don't understand.
How condescending is that?
Yeah.
Take this man with you. He is not a professional. I only work with professionals. You cost us thousands of dollars because you can't read.
Oh, that is rough.
To me, that guy's really unprofessional there saying that.
Great job by the actor, by the way, that did that.
Good point.
I suspect, obviously, that in Hollywood and on these set pieces, there have been very disrespectful. In fact, we know there's been very toxic work environments in Hollywood. So that's probably what Sly is showing you there, too, is the dicks that people can be. And I've heard that Sly as a director is not like that at all. He's hardworking. He's right there in the trenches with you. I say what you want about Sly in general. I have yet to hear any scuttlebutt. And this is like modern era, right, where people can tweet or share anything because he's done movies in the modern era as a director. I haven't heard any scuttlebutt other than the fact that he's an absolute workhorse and a pleasure to work for. He's the guy that's there first and leaves last. So there's nothing you can say.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. His work ethic is unmatched.
Yeah.
Those dummy cards, so to speak, weren't that easy to read. They're all caps. The punctuation was not appropriate. Yeah. I can't see to save my life either. It would be hard for me to read it from far away.
They didn't bring that up. That's actually a good point because he wears glasses to read. So you could, because he did say it looks like cat and rat look the same. So maybe he's have a hard time seeing the lettering. Yeah.
He's probably farsighted.
Yes.
Like he probably needs those glasses to read up close. If he's reading his little notepad that he's writing, that's like right in front of his face.
I'm both though. Yeah. My eye, I'm kind of messed up a a bit. He could have both.
Just because you're getting.
It's an elder thing, Ryan. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, to need reading glasses.
I am getting that way.
I'm told.
I am getting that way. I know.
Yeah, when you're in your 40s and 50s, you start to have problems reading up close. Like I'm told in 2 years, I'm going to have to get like dual lenses. I can read up close too. What should have happened really here is they should have given him his lines in advance. Hey, look, you're shooting this commercial in 2 weeks or whatever it is. These are your lines. Memorize them before you come to set. We'll still have the dummy cards or whatever the cue cards.
Yeah, exactly.
Cue cards, just in case. But, you should have those, and then Adrian would probably figure out he couldn't really read, so they could help memorize them together. You could do it in the comfort of your own home, and then you walk on set prepared and ready to go. It should have happened, except then they just dumped him on this set and said, okay, read off the cards. What the hell? Like,
there is a lack of continuity in a lot of ways, too, because Brian pointed out that they said they rehearsed, but then it's like he was reading the cards cold also, so who knows?
You ready? Rocky trivia?
Oh, okay.
Right, number 16. Where does the fight take place?
The Philadelphia Spectrum.
Correct. What does Rocky write on the autograph he signs?
My best friend, Charlie Flynn.
My good friend.
Oh, shit.
You get it, though. I think you get it.
I know,
right?
You know how many times, go back to, you know how many times we give Kyle so many breaks?
I'm like, it's to my good friend.
It is to my good friend. That's what he writes. You know what, Kyle? To be fair, we gave Kyle a point because he didn't do all the names at the wedding party. But because the answer guide didn't as well, we gave Kyle the point. So now which one is it? Are we going to use the answer guide or not?
Well, I think it's how important is good versus best. And I think...
I will not get the
it's
point.
your call, Kyle. I'll leave it to you, Kyle. I'll let your conscience be your guide.
Putting an X there. I'm okay with it.
I would give it to him.
Because you're a sweetheart.
But...
I'm playing to win. I'm behind. Okay. What was Adrian's maiden name?
Nino? I have it Pennino. I think it's two N's and then one.
I think I'll get it wrong. I put Polino with the L's.
Yeah, it's Penn.
It's with N's. So that is a different name altogether. So that is wrong.
I'm being honest.
Yes.
I give you that point, Ryan.
Oh, no, it's a different name altogether.
Yeah, I put L's instead of N's. I put L's where the N's are. So I misremembered completely. Okay.
Maybe you just can't read.
I just can't read. So what does Rocky want to get for the church with the money from the second fight? It was either a bell or a statue.
What'd you put?
I think it's a statue.
Yeah.
Shit, I put bell, but I knew that wasn't right.
What? Oh, well, those are good guesses, but I'm like, there's only so many things that you could get for the church.
My lawyer one wasn't right, yeah. I don't know why I said Polino. It's so weird. Okay. Lastly, who said, I'll fight him any place, anytime? Of course, it was Apollo Creed in the hospital when he's sitting in the wheelchair. Yeah. Well, there you go, guys. That is the end of episode 4 of Rocky 2. We're doing well here. Still an hour and a half to go, if you can believe it. But we've done 35 minutes.
Did you get 5?
No, I got 4
Did you
5.
get all 5?
Are you asking me, Kyle? Yes, I did.
And Ryan, you got 4, right?
I got 4. I think Katie's going to... Did Katie win last season?
I sure did.
Katie's well ahead, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay, good for you.
I mean, maybe you guys should watch the movie before we cover it.
Okay, why don't we say for season 3... Nobody watches the film.
Cheating.
Yeah,
that's cheating, in my opinion.
Is it really? I
no,
sort
it's
of
not
thought
cheating.
I
don't care.
I assumed, but I know a lot of the 3 and 4. I could probably do because I've seen those two so many more times. I probably could just go cold without watching it.
That's fair. No, we'll no. You can do it however you want, but I think it did help that you watched it a little bit recently.
Probably.
It hasn't been a long time because I watch these films very frequently, but it hasn't been within the year so that I've seen Rocky 2. Okay. Well, everyone, thanks for joining us, and that is the end of the episode.
I didn't hear no bell.
I just want to